Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Charming Empire. Today we're starting on Toki Tanba's route. And I know very little about him because he has not really appeared in anybody else's route. Kay, they haven't named him, but he's the tutor, so he's kind of been in other people's routes, although he hasn't been shown. But Toki, he's a complete mystery. So let's see what's the deal with him. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. If you'd like to hear Kei Yoshimine's route, please visit Rob's Bromantic Gaming channel, link in the description and in the cards. And he has lots of other wonderful series over there, like Period Cube and such, so it's worth a peek. My brother is completely different from what I remember.
First of all, you live in the palace as my sister, and take lessons to improve your education and etiquette.
I stifle my misery with the prospect of seeing my brother, but he barely even greets me before ordering me around.
I have no idea what you're thinking, but from now on, you will live with me as one of the most powerful people of our country.
Soshi,
There's nothing to worry about. I've already set up an excellent tutor for you. You'll settle in before you know it.
See, there we go, talking about the tutor again, and it's probably Kay, right? Yet we will not name him. He who shall not be named.
You must quickly learn how to be a princess. After that, the rest will fall into place.
It's not like I was expecting an emotional homecoming, but Soshi's acting pretty aloof for a long-awaited sibling reunion. Since he doesn't leave me time to talk, all I can do is frantically try to process what he's saying. But he talks so fast about the rules that I realize I need to start memorizing before I can start processing.
That's all for now. Ask your tutor or servant if you have questions.
Okay.
From now on, you'll learn all you can in order to marry into the family of my choosing.
Marry?
I need you to work to become the perfect bride, so you don't dishonor the family name. That is all.
It isn't strange to get married at my age, and I do plan to get married at some point, but things are moving way too fast. Even though the elegant words flowing out of Soshi's mouth are about me, the reality of it all doesn't sink in. After all that information, my brother falls silent, and all I can do is gaze up at him in a confused daze.
That's all I had to say. You may leave.
I snap back to reality. I knew that Soshi was busy, but I had no idea how busy he actually was. The time he had spared for me is over, and with a glance at his watch, he quickly leaves the room. Yes? I hate mornings. I have no idea how long I had slept, but when I came to, there's someone knocking at my door. I glance around my unfamiliar room and get my heavy body out of bed. Just as I sit up, the door opens with a loud creak. Excuse me.
Good morning. Oh, you're not dressed yet. It's time for your lesson, so hurry up.
And you are? An overbearing woman enters the room and leads me to my desk. Soke isn't always my tutor. Sometimes it's this woman.
Nice to meet you. I'll be your tutor from now on, princess. Lord Amazaki told me to teach you all I can, but it looks like we need to start with waking up on time. My job is to teach you how to be a proper human being, and I don't plan to go easy on you.
Proper human being? What exactly are you saying, woman? You trying to say the people outside the palace are animals?
When I say proper human being, I mean someone good enough to represent our country abroad. It's not an easy job.
Right. I'll do my best to improve any fault I have, so give me your worst.
I wouldn't say that to this woman. She sounds pretty tough. Speaking of faults, how about that cowardly attitude? That's no way for a princess to act, so you better stop.
My tutor gives me a disdainful look and walks over to the window with a sigh. Cowardly? What are you talking about?
It looks like I have to start from zero with you. Come on, out onto the balcony.
Huh? The balcony? But what about my studies? The tutor ignores me and pushes the huge windows open. I follow her out onto the beautifully decorated balcony. We've seen this view at nighttime. It's the first time we've seen it in the day. For a second, the wind against my cheek reminds me of the countryside, but it's just an illusion. A foreign town lies below us. I can see the people walking through the streets in the distance. There are so many people there, but I don't know any of them. It makes me realize again how far away I've come all alone.
As you can see. Are you listening, princess?
Oh, yes. Oops, there's no time to whip around. My tutor glares at me.
Pull yourself together. You can't act like a tourist here forever. Now listen, all the land before you is under your brother, Lord Amazaki's rule. All those tea houses, photo studios, vegetable and fish stands, and factories you see couldn't be there without him.
That's both amazing and terrifying.
Soon we'll be going into town for you to learn about how the capital is governed.
Well, finally, we actually get to go into town freely on a route.
However, while they may be few and far between, there are some people who are up to no good.
My tutor's brow wrinkles even deeper as she continues.
We, of course, have the best guards to protect you in the worst-case scenario, so there's nothing to fear.
Can we have Koichiro Sera as our bodyguard? My tutor's words are comforting. One of those guards already protected me when I first came here. But I have to be aware of the possibility of danger. This may be a scarier place than I thought. Even though I know I'm safe, I start to tense up. As if noticing my tension, my tutor softens her tone.
Don't worry, it's usually a peaceful place. Recently, foreign sweets like Baumkuchen have been very popular.
Baumkuchen? My fears disappear in an instant. Do I recognize that? Isn't Baumkuchen that weird cake that isn't made of beans or sweet rice? I saw it in a book once and I've always wanted to try it. I start happily chatting away. Just remembering the picture of Baumkuchen I saw makes me smile. It sounds like a German thing. When my excitement turns me into a chatterbox, my tutor gives me a cold look. Keep your composure, princess!
How about putting that enthusiasm of yours into studying? It's rude to interrupt. I'm afraid this is going to take a while.
It doesn't matter what I do, apologize or fight back. I will apologize like a proper lady. I'm sorry. She's right. It's not like we're friends. She's my tutor, so I need to be respectful.
Just so you know, you're not permitted to go into town just to eat sweets.
Gosh darn it. Of course. I know that. Okay, so it might have crossed my mind, but I keep that to myself. Did I really seriously actually think that?
I say that for both the sake of your etiquette and your personal safety. As I mentioned before, there are some people in town who are up to no good. I heard that your car was attacked on the way here by a group of rebels. That is why I can't have you eating strange food from out there. Leaving the palace on your own is also forbidden.
I can't believe town is that dangerous. I wonder if Soshi would save me if I were attacked. I can't even imagine him doing that. I doubt my brother would ever worry about me. Oh, ye of little faith. When I saw him yesterday, he didn't even smile at me like he used to. I doubt he'd get worked up over me.
Alright, you have a lot to learn. Let's get started.
When I start daydreaming, my tutor's sharp tone brings me back to reality. There's no use thinking about it. I just have to do what I can. Which is lots and lots of studying.
That's all for today. It's almost dinner time, so you're free to rest until then.
Even though it's my first lesson, I learn a lot. My tutor is so strict that I almost fight back several times. But finally! Boy, am I rebellious, huh?
I'd like you to review all the material we covered today for tomorrow's lesson.
Okay, thank you. Careful not to let my fatigue show, I stand up with a smile. When I lower my eyes and bow, the tutor gives me a satisfied look and leaves the room. As soon as I hear the door shut, I let out a big sigh and sprawl across my bed. Phew, I'm beat. I never learned so much etiquette in my life. Apart from the all-girls school, my guardian taught me the basics to get by. Plus, I'm not only learning etiquette, but history, geography, politics, international relations, and foreign language, too. That's a lot of stuff. I didn't think I had to learn this much. I groan at the thought of having to study all of this every day. Why didn't they start me learning this stuff when I was out in the country? How am I going to survive? I don't know. I realize I have fallen asleep when I hear a polite knock at my door.
Excuse me?
A chef sets an array of colorful dishes in front of me, and this is my first time seeing a silver spoon. Is there some kind of celebration today? This is really fancy food.
Of course it is fancy. A princess must only partake of the highest quality food.
Highest quality food? The chef explains each dish to me before quietly leaving the room. The room feels even quieter when I'm left alone. Man, I have a much more luxurious life in this route than the other ones. After all those years of eating with my dear elders, now I'm on my own. When I came to the palace yesterday, I had dinner with my brother, but he's so busy today that I have to fend for myself. This is kind of lonely. I feel like I never get used to this way of life, but I just have to accept it. There's no point in getting depressed. I force myself to sound cheerful. My eyes move from one delicious-looking plate to the next, before deciding to start with a steaming bowl of vegetable soup. This is delicious. It really warms me up. I wish I could talk to someone. Even my forced cheerfulness is depressing, so I eat the rest of my dinner in silence. Yeah, forced cheerfulness is terrible. It always makes you feel worse. After dinner, I quickly review my lessons. The tutor works me hard, but she explains things so well that reviewing them is a piece of cake. I wonder if I can explore the palace. My tutor told me not to go into town, but so she said I could move around the palace. I courageously head toward the door. I'm so brave heading toward the door like this. When I leave my room and turn a few corners, I find myself in an endless hallway. It's Kubrickian. The dim lamps and portraits of important people on the walls make me feel like I'm being watched. Creepy. This is kind of scary. I cross my arms as a shiver runs up my spine. Suddenly, I see a shadow down the hall. Oh no! I run behind a statue, and as the shadow comes closer, I see it's my brother. He disappears into a distant room without noticing me. Why am I hiding from my brother? Is he still working at this hour? Soshi isn't as kind as he used to be when I lived in the capital before, but it must be because of his busy schedule. Well, yeah, and he's also not a kid anymore. We probably only knew him for like 2 years when we were kids together. I wish we could talk like we used to. After walking for a while, I suddenly hear footsteps behind me. Now what? I get nervous as the footsteps get louder. Did they think I ran away and came looking for me? The quickly approaching footsteps force me into a nearby room. Why am I hiding? This is not a nearby room. This looks like we somehow ran into the sewers. I shut the door behind me and slumped down onto the floor. Phew, that was close. I look around and realize that I'm not in a room, but a narrow hallway. Is this a hidden passageway? If it was a hidden passageway, I don't think it would look like a doorway. It's full of dust, dimly lit, and I can feel a breeze in the distance. This must be some sort of emergency escape route. I shall continue forward, because I'm so brave. I wonder where it leads. I decide to head forward cautiously. So, this is how I'm going to meet Toki. Every night I'm going to use the secret passage to sneak out of the castle and go meet him, and I'm not going to get caught for 15 chapters, or however many chapters. It seems to lead outside. As I follow the breeze, I start to see lights in the distance. Am I outside of the palace? When I reach the end of the path, I find myself in an alley off the town square. I stretch myself out and breathe in the nice and cool outdoor air. Being out here makes it feel like it's been ages since my feet touched the earth. Ever since I came to the palace, all my feet have touched is carpet and marble. It's so relaxing out here. I wish I could stay outside forever. Oops, can't let my guard down. It'd be dangerous if someone found me outside the palace. I break into a nervous sweat just remembering my tutor's glare this afternoon. I need to hurry back. Don't you want to explore a little? I guess not. I guess that's for chapter 2, huh? Oh good, I got back without getting lost. Or being seen, apparently. It's hard to retrace my steps since I followed the breeze to get out. But I managed to get all the way back to my room. So that path really is a hidden passage. Disguised very cleverly as a door. But if it's an emergency escape route, someone would have told me about it. No, they wouldn't have. Since no one did, I bet I'm not supposed to know about it. Should I keep it to myself? Yes. Or you won't ever be able to sneak out again. Ever since I found the secret pathway, I keep it to myself and focus on my studies. I try to work hard, but the mundane studying and eating routine just tires me out. Since I don't have friends in the palace, I spend hours on the balcony gazing at the town. I'm sick of being cooped up in the palace every day. I want to go into town. Just as I feel like I'll go crazy, I remember the hidden passageway that leads outside. How could I have ever forgotten? I'll just go get a little outside air. Not in the daytime! You fool! No one will miss me if I get back before dinner. Really? I get that much leeway nobody checks on me? Making excuses on my way out, I tuck my purse into my sleeve, quietly leave my room, and run to the hidden passageway. And here we go! I get a little lost today, but I finally make it safely outside. Is it really that maze-like? It was evening last time I came out, but it's the afternoon now. Basking in the sun makes me feel even better than before. But someone might see me in the light. Exactly! Luckily, the pathway exit is hidden in the trees, As I move into the sunlight, I dodge the guards and escape the palace grounds. And now I am a fugitive. The noisy hustle and bustle of the town quickens my pace. I wonder what the town is like. Let's see! My heart bursts with excitement as I head to the shopping district under the bright blue sky. And I guess in Chapter 2 we'll actually meet him, I hope. Toki, why you make me wait? Please show up in Chapter 2 at least. Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing more of him and his route than we did of Soshi at least. Man, Soshi barely wanted to show up for like, what, 5 chapters? Alright, well, hope to see you in the next episode to actually meet Toki, hopefully. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.